Hello, welcome to another episode of The Dans. I'm Dan. I'm here with my colleague, also named Dan. The weekends are getting short and the nights are getting long. The legislative session is really moving along at this point. One of the most consequential bills went before the Senate last week.
Yeah, the Senate voted very narrowly, 22-20, to pass a red flag gun bill that was widely opposed by a lot of the sheriffs around New Mexico, but supported by the governor and others. It now goes to the House. It's expected to move pretty quickly there, and all signs are indicating that it will probably end up on her desk before the session adjourns. So certainly that was a big development, but there's a lot of other bills that are still, in limbo and kind of have to be resolved over the next 10 days.
Yeah, the legalization of marijuana has not moved very fast so far during this session. It will get a pretty critical committee hearing on Wednesday. The outlook for that one is still uncertain.
Yeah, and that one's still uncertain. There's also an important pension solvency bill that you've covered a little bit. That one's still kind of, but certainly a lot can happen, and a lot can happen quickly over these final days of the session. Bills can really move quickly out of committee to the floor and from one chamber to the other.
Yeah, and there are certainly things that are starting to move along now. Emergency funding for census outreach has already reached the governor's desk and was signed today. The red flag bill is on the other side of the roundhouse, so it'll be moving fast. The budget has crossed over to the Senate, so we'll see some budget talks are going to ramp up. It feels like maybe there's a little more tension in the air. People are a little more short-tempered during debates. Any other thoughts on what to look forward to?
Yeah, I think there will also be some interesting bills on crime. There was a crime package that kind of was crafted in a House committee, kind of combining some criminal penalties with some other types of community policing and things. So that's certainly one we intend to keep an eye on. The budget certainly, and whatever changes are made to that. But it's getting to the point that we could almost use 4 Dans instead of 2 Dans. So certainly it's going to be busy.
Yeah, so if you need a scorecard, I'm Dan McKay, he's Dan Boyd. We always appreciate anyone who reads our stories, either in the paper or online. A subscription to the Journal is a great way to support local journalism, and thank you for following along.